everyone, my name is Allegra Miller and I am here today to share with you the planetary aspects of today's astrology and the essential oil tools helpful for those energies. Before I get started, I do want to share that I have been teaching about and selling doTERRA for over 7 years, and I am extremely passionate and partial to that brand. So any essential oil recommendations that I make here today are strictly about doTERRA. If you have personal questions about what's right for you and your family, please reach out, and you can find all that information in the information below the title of this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Today the moon went into Scorpio early this morning, the intensely passionate sign of Scorpio. With the moon in Scorpio, emotions have a tendency to be quite intense. It's a water sign. We may be feeling more intuitive and also more self-protective. And the dichotomy between those two senses, feeling super sensitive and intuitive and also self-protective, can be kind of confusing to our emotional body. It can also make communication challenging. What's interesting about the moon is it opposes Taurus in Mars. I spoke quite a bit about Taurus and Mars in yesterday's video. When these two energies come together in opposition, it makes everything appear very black and white. Mars in Taurus, in its shadow, can be quite stubborn, slow-moving, assertive. It gets the job done, but it's very it can be very self-righteous about it. Scorpio, on the other hand, and again, I'm talking only the shadow, so don't take this personally, guys. Scorpio's shadow energy can be very unstable, emotionally unstable, opinionated, judgmental, and aggressive. So when these two are coming toe to toe, both signs are notorious for being super controlling. The opposition can make for a propensity for heated arguments. It's very important today to be mindful of not getting caught up in emotions from which we can be careless with our words. It's much easier for today's energy for our words to be hurtful. So that's important relative to literal words, and it's important to written words. We might lash out on social media or have someone lash out on us. It's important today to understand these energies, tone that down. The 3 oils I picked for that, the number 1 is lavender, and this is an oil that most of you oilers probably have, so that's the good news. Lavender helps us speak more from our heart, from our higher self. It helps us not speak from our conditioned self and maybe our old self, our old ways of being. The communicating from that is the hardest thing to break. This helps us speak from the newly more evolved self that we've grown into. Spearmint is the second oil for communication. Spearmint is very good for being clear with our words, and not holding back, but have them be more polished and have them be more from our heart, from our truth. Cassia is the third oil for communication. Cassia is a hot oil, so be mindful of that. Cassia I take and I put a little bit on my finger, on my pinky, and then I put it on my tongue, avoiding the lips. That's important. Cassia helps with confident communication. And so the 3 together are quite a good combination. Cassia is hot, so make sure you've got some water handy. Anyway, okay, let's get back to this opposition. Yes, much easier for our words to be and actions to be hurtful. So just tone it down. It's important to cultivate transparency today. With these energies, they both can really be obstinate and thinking that they know everything. And it's important to realize that there are more than one truths. Quantum physics is proving that we live in a multiverse. There's literally multiple universes happening. So recognizing that one person's truth is is an actual truth in that universe, and your truth may be another truth in your universe. Anyway, just backing up, having some objectivity. On that note, cardamom is an oil for cultivating more transparency around things, realizing there's more than one perspective. Cardamom is also helpful in toning down our likelihood to speak from an emotional place that could get us into trouble. So the energy today, overall, we have a T-square. The moon is opposite Mars-Uranus, squaring Jupiter-Saturn. All of these energies coming together signal big changes, and again, the likelihood of emotional instability. It's easier to get caught up in lower vibrations today, so it's extra important to channel higher aspects, intuition, emotional connection, passion, etc. A couple oils specifically to help bring out the higher aspect of Scorpio, the incredibly passionate, intuitive, vibrant Scorpio energy. One is passion. It is a blend that is got some of what I've talked about: cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, clove, sandalwood, jasmine, damiana, and vanilla. This is just helpful in getting us unstuck and getting us out of, we've got the Capricorn energy of the sun right now, and we've got that Mars energy. This is helpful in taking us out of the framework of all work, no play, which is a likelihood with the energies at play today to have that be the case. That came out funny, but this is more of a all work can involve play. So passion is a good blend for that. Pink pepper is a very good energy to keep us, to tone down any jealous, judgmental, divisive energies. It can help those with a distorted view of themselves to be more kind, more accepting. It is helpful in having us not compare ourselves to others, or even to compare ourselves with a sense of self that we may strive to be but not be there yet. It also helps to bring out our true selves so that we're expressing more of our truth. All right, so basically in energy, it's important to be careful to chill out and not start conflict based on arrogance and self-righteousness. Early this morning, the Scorpio moon squared off with Saturn in Aquarius. This can make us particularly intolerant with family members and members of our tribe at large. So whatever that is, your people at your work, people in your city, people in your nation, people in your species, whatever that level of tribe means to you, it can make you want to pull away and be much less tolerant. So it's easy to blame others in this equation, in this energy, for things that are really your internal stuff that's going on. It seems like it's about others, but it's really, though, that is just the catalyst to bring up whatever needs to be pulled up and out for you to clear within yourself. So rather than forcing ourselves to stifle emotions, it might be best to kind of just take ourselves apart as much as we can today, so that we're not, so we can feel our feelings and not lash out. Two oils that are helpful for these energies. Marjoram helps open us to a deeper sense of connection with our community that doesn't have to be in the physical. It can just make us feel more deeply connected. It helps soften ridges we've built to isolate and protect ourselves. It's good for hermit-like tendencies that cut people off, so we can feel safe. It's good for people that have that tendency that they get hurt and then they cut people off, and that's their sort of modus of operandi. It can make a person feel more protected and feel feel engaged with the community, forming a deeper sense of intimacy. Cedarwood is a very similar energy. It's just different. Cedarwood, I often say, is more like feeling the energy of the forest versus just feeling like a lone tree, feeling part of the collective on an emotional level of connection. With all the energy going on, it is important to have some oils that address self-righteousness, know-it-all tendencies. Oregano oil is my favorite oil for that. It helps people that are staunchly attached to their point of view. It helps them soften that point of view and realize that they don't know everything. It cuts unhealthy attachments, and that can be thoughts, words, actions, people, places, things. It helps us eradicate stubborn energy that is self-defeating. The next oil that will be helpful for all these energies is Forgive. Forgive oil is also called Renewing Blend. It's an energy, it's an oil that helps foster the freedom that comes when we stop blaming or criticizing others or even ourselves. The could've, would've, should'ves, etc. It helps us ease compulsive judgmental streams that make others into the bad guy or even ourselves into the bad guy. It helps us let go of burning resentments that are impeding the present moment. It helps us love ourselves through the process. This one I really like putting on the front and back of my heart. All right. The moon square to Jupiter today is going to also be this thing that gives us extra hypersensitivity today. So if we can be in the company that is conducive to intense emotions, that's better. Not everybody can handle intense emotions, so if at all possible, be around those that you're safe to have intense emotions with in case they come out. It's an overall, at least have a heads up that you have the likelihood to be emotionally triggered in ways that can feel uncontrollable. It sounds really dramatic, but that kind of sums it up. Console is a good oil for that. Console is, where's my console? Console is here. That is a great grounding blend. It's got patchouli, frankincense, ylang-ylang, labdanum, amorous, sandalwood, rose, osmanthus. Anyway, don't need to go through all that, but it's an overall emotional balm. It is marketed for grief, but it doesn't have, grief is just one of the many tones of emotions that go with this. It's helpful for healing wounds, current wounds, past wounds, ancient wounds, and just giving us comfort to go forward despite our wounds, and that life is inherently good. The next oil that is helpful for all that I'm talking about, actually 2 oils, helpful in intense emotions. Fennel is one. Fennel is helpful in having us take deep responsibility to our emotions. So while there may be something triggering an intense emotion from the exterior, this helps us realize that everything is in fact an inside job. Whatever is out there triggering something in here is just the catalyst for us to look at things and have emotions be released. So fennel is helpful in having us digest emotions and not suppress emotions with sex, drugs, food, other coping mechanisms. That having the Scorpio energy today and that Taurus energy today can make us more likely to want to just suppress this intensity. Fennel will help us digest our emotions. If you don't have fennel, you may, most oilers within doTERRA have an oil blend called Digest Zen. Digest Zen is great for indigestion, hence the name. It's also good for digesting intense emotions and having us feel like we can handle it. We don't have to go lash out. We can just feel our feelings and go forward. All right. The last aspect that I want to talk about today is that this midday, the Scorpio moon opposes Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Scorpio, these are 2 very different energies, because Scorpio on the one hand tends to be hyper guarded and distrustful. It has a tendency to have a few close friends, whereas this Uranus retrograde has a tendency to erupt what's hidden. So this is an energy, essentially, the two coming together like this in opposition, that helps us, this can kick things up so that we see things about people and situations in ways that we might not have otherwise seen. And that can be uncomfortable. So it's a scene that which we might not want to see, in other words. And my 2 oil recommendations for that today, frankincense is one of my faves, and it's one that many of you got in the Christmas promotion with doTERRA, so it's good to know how to use it. Frankincense is going to really help us clear negative energies and helps us clear our blinders. It helps to specifically decalcify the pineal gland, which is therefore going to give us more spiritual thoughts, sights, and sounds happening. I take a drop internally when I just need a reboot. I also put some on my skin in my doTERRA Hydrating Moisturizer. I mix it in, and I put some on the front and back of my heart. But it's just great to just open the bottle and smell it. The other thing you can do with this one is put some on your thumb and then put your thumb on the roof of your mouth. So it looks kind of funny, but you just put it on the thumb, hold it on the top for, I would say, as long as you comfortably can, because you do look a little obnoxious doing it, but you can feel it immediately. Okay, and then the other oil for this aspect and helping us intuit our world and giving us courage to look at that which we might not otherwise want to look at is clary sage. Clary sage is otherwise known as the oil of inner sight, inner wisdom. It too helps clear blocks to the pineal and the pituitary so that we can see life through the eyes of wisdom. Anyway, that's gonna cover today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was valuable to you. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel if you're so inclined. Please reach out if you have any specific questions and are interested in ordering doTERRA. Let me know. My contact information is right below the title. Enjoy these energies, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.